your hands up, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up, are you ready?
The Buffalo Bills take care of the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football in an amazing game, dominated by the Bills' defense. Sunday was filled with lots of surprises for Week 5 of the 2021 NFL season. Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers do not look invincible, suffering a loss against the Philadelphia Eagles in an upset. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense, are they back? Did they turn their season around? Lots to uncover here on a brand new episode of Time2Football. Glad you guys can be joining us. My name is Hassan Khan, the host of this channel that we like to call Time2Football. Glad you guys can be joining us for this Monday morning. Ugh, Mondays. Got to be going into work. Hey, maybe not. It's Columbus Day. I don't know if that's for some jobs you get that off. More government if you work for government-related jobs. If you don't, then you're probably working. But Columbus Day, I mean, I think it's the same thing every year where it's like the people took my homeland, and it's like, whoa, should we celebrate this guy? This guy just destroyed everything, but it's still a holiday. So it's like, oh man, wait, what do we celebrate? What do we celebrate? I don't know. Are we honoring Christopher Columbus here today, or are we just, I don't know. What are we doing here? Leave your comments and leave your thoughts down below. What do you think Columbus Day is all about? Regardless, I mean, I know that a lot of you guys are happy that you're having the day off. And, hey, interact with us in the chat throughout the duration of the show as well. We're going to be going from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day, Monday through Friday in the mornings. Big win, by the way. Big win. Atlanta Falcons rise up. Kyle Pitts, 119. A tutty against the New York Jets in London. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Hey, we're going to uncover everything related to Week 5 of the 2021 NFL season. It's not over yet. Tonight, we've got Colts versus Ravens, which we're going to be unpacking here today as well, giving you props that you guys have voted on Instagram. Every Monday, you guys do that, and we show you guys your thoughts on what's going to happen via WinView Games. Questions that are on WinView Games. One of our sponsors, that's actually really, really fun to play. So I'm going to be talking about that in a bit. But first, before we get into everything, NFL news and notes that's going around the league. Lots of injuries to talk about. Hey, I have never heard of a throat contusion in my life until yesterday. Joe Burrow suffered a throat contusion. That was the fear. And he was taken to a local hospital in the Cincinnati area. Now, he's believed to be fine, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with him. But hey, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the second-round pick of the Cleveland Browns linebacker, very, very talented linebacker, might I add, also suffered a throat contusion. What the heck is a throat contusion? And why did it happen to two players that play for Ohio teams? You know what this is? Illuminati confirmed. A throat contusion. I've never heard of that in my life, but it happened to Owusu-Koramoah and Joe Burrow. But they're believed to be fine. It doesn't seem to be too serious. Juju Smith-Schuster, speaking of something that is serious, he is expected to be placed on season-ending injured reserve. Suffered his shoulder injury, and he looked like he was in a lot of pain as well after suffering that hit this past week against the Denver Broncos. Saquon Barkley, also another big name that's going to be expected to miss some time. Already we can rule him out for Week 6. I mean, you saw the thing. That was the size of a tennis ball. It's bigger than grapefruit, bowling ball. That ankle was swelled up. Cadarius Toney, who got a little bit chippy with the Dallas Cowboys, got chippy with his own teammate, unintentionally. And Saquon Barkley had his ankle rolled up on, and now he's expected to miss some time. That's a huge blow for the New York Giants. Devontae Booker, in line to be the RB1, had was it two touchdowns, or was it one? I think one. No, it was two touchdowns. Two-touchdown game. Because there was a series where Mike Glennon and Devontae Booker, they just ran the ball like straight, like 4 times at the goal line. And he eventually got in. So, yeah, 2 touchdowns for Devontae Booker. He immediately becomes the RB1 in New York. So, for you guys that play fantasy football, Devontae Booker must add this week. George Kittle has a calf injury. Now, this happened earlier before the game. but I didn't touch base on it on Time to Football. He is placed on not season ending, 3 weeks injured reserve. So at least for the next 3 weeks, George Kittle is going to be out. Joe Tooney, he broke his hand. Talented offensive lineman, came from the New England Patriots to the Kansas City Chiefs, and now he broke his hand. And that Chiefs offensive line that they already invested a lot of capital in is going to be suffering even more for a Chiefs team that's 2-3 right now. That's not good news. You've also got Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that game suffering a knee injury. Got a little bit bent up and twisted and turned in that game. Darrell Williams came in. Darwin Thompson also had a few reps as well. Jerick McKinnon worked in as well. Actually, as a matter of fact, Jerick McKinnon was in on the second snap of the game. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire came in. Jerick McKinnon. They just have different formations with different types of running backs. So it's hard to tell and get a grasp of who that RB1 is going to be, but I think it's going to be Darrell Williams, and Darrell Williams would be the hot ad this week in fantasy football. Damien Harris suffered a chest injury, so this happened twice in that game. He fumbled at the goal line. You'd think that Bill Belichick would take him out of the game because he likes to do that, put people in the doghouse. This happened with Stephen Ridley a couple of times as well in the past, where Stephen Ridley would get a fumble early, and Bill Belichick would just put him in the doghouse, never put him back in. Damien Harris, he has a little bit more hope for Damien Harris as a player. So, but he was put back in, and he did suffer another chest injury. So it's more than likely that Ramondre Stevenson is going to come in and serve as that number one back for New England moving forward. Kenny Gallaudet suffered a knee injury in the game against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, for a team that already lost Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, you also lost Kenny Gallaudet right now. We don't know his status for Week 6 yet. Just monitor that. But I'm saying that, okay, Kadarius Toney, he was banged up on that play as well. There was a lot of injuries that happened in the New York Giants. Kadarius Toney eventually went back into the game. It didn't seem to be that serious. But Kadarius Toney and John Ross are going to serve as the top 2 wide receivers now moving forward until their other 3 wide receivers were to get healthy. So a lot of injuries for the New York Giants, and that includes their quarterback, Daniel Jones, who suffered a concussion, and he seemed to be wobbling when he got back up. So Mike Lennon is going to be serving as the starting quarterback for the New York Giants until Daniel Jones can get healthy. So for you guys that have meme pages, there's meme pages out there for Mike Lennon. I actually saw something that was like, who would you take in you're down by 6, 1 minute left to go. Who's your quarterback? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or Mike Lennon? And someone said Aaron Rodgers because Mike Lennon would score way too fast. So there's some fans out there of Mike Lennon. He's going to be starting quarterback as of right now. And lastly, Levante David suffered a knee injury, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was taken out of the game. He did not return, so monitor his status for the already depleted Bucs defense. And that is your NFL news and notes for today. Okay, so Pedro commented, no longer called Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. I had no idea. About that. Okay, all right. Celebrating the Indigenous Peoples Day. Octavio, morning, everyone. Preem Fields, put your hands up. Yes, sir. Boiling Point. Shout out to them. Very cool band. I discovered them from that song was discovered from a Dude Perfect video with Ryan Tannehill. So actually YouTube it. Dude Perfect, Ryan Tannehill. And then you'll hear that theme song. And I was like, this song is awesome. So I contacted the band actually. And they're not local, but not to me. But they're more of a smaller band. And I actually had one guy in my fantasy league, his cousin, actually was the bassist for that band temporarily. So I was like, dude, this is okay. I've got to reach out to this band. So I reached out to the band. I was like, hey, I love this song. Can I use it as a theme song for my channel? They're like, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So Boiling Point, check out their stuff. Good stuff. And you guys are continuing to leave your comments. Miguel, let's go Chargers, baby. Yes, sir. Miguel, daily check-in. Justin Herbert, MVP candidate, along with Kyler Murray, leading the charge against the Cleveland Browns and picking up that victory. You know what's funny is that the score of 47-42, I forgot what the term was. I got to look it up. Someone leave a comment if you know what it is. But it starts with an S. But it's a score that does not happen or has never happened in the NFL. And then, was it last year that they had the 42-47 game on Monday Night Football between the Ravens and the Browns? That never happens, that score. And then the Browns were involved in that score again. What are the odds? What are the odds? Back-to-back years. Anyways, continue to leave your comments. I know a lot of you guys are asking fantasy football questions. I'll get to you guys. We have a whole dedicated segment to that. Now what we're going to get into first is every Monday we talk about 10 things that we learned from this past Sunday. The week is not over yet. Colts Ravens play tonight. But what did we learn from week 5 from Sunday's games? I'm going to go over 10 things that we learned. Number 1, the Chiefs are in trouble. I think I talked about this last week, 2 weeks ago. I said, hey, Chiefs fans, don't worry. You'll be fine. And then after suffering that loss against the Buffalo Bills, I was like, well, if they can't compete with the best in the NFL, are they really one of the best? And I'm not questioning their ticket into the playoffs, the postseason. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But I will say that their schedule this season, teams that they have to face, tough games that they have coming up. The Packers, Chargers again, Titans, Cowboys, Raiders. I mean, they faced the Raiders twice, so if history tells us anything, the Raiders, they could split with the Raiders. Okay, so that's one loss right there. The Cowboys have been looking pretty good. As of right now, they've been looking better than the Kansas City Chiefs. That's another loss. The Titans, they could compete, so they could win against the Titans. They could beat, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. Like the Titans, they've lost some heartbreaking losses to the Jets, so we're still trying to get a feel of them if they are one of the best in the NFL or not. But let's just say they beat the Titans. You got the Chargers. Say they lose to them again. You got the Packers. Say they lose. That's 4 games right there. That already puts you at a 7-game losing window right there. 7 losses. That means you got to be perfect in every other game. 10-7. Yeah, that can make it the postseason. But it doesn't say that you're one of the best in the NFL. So, I mean, I'm just looking at the schedule. Maybe the Chiefs are actually just in kind of a rut, and they're just going to turn it around. I mean, we all know about the talent that this offense has. I don't know. I mean, just from what I've seen, the Chiefs, they might be in trouble. Might be in trouble. Give the Browns offense, takeaway number 2. Give the Browns offense more respect. Yes, sir. Putting up 40-plus points and losing in that fashion. I mean, 0 turnovers. I think that's a more of a bigger story than we need to be talking about. But I know a lot of crap was given in the way of the Browns offense about Baker Mayfield can't pass the ball down the field. Odell Beckham is washed up. Hey, who cares? Who cares if they're not a pass-heavy team? They run the ball down your throat. Nick Chubb had a great game. Kareem Hunt had a great game. This Browns offense is legit. And, I mean, I think that was the only thing that's kind of holding them back from being a top 10 team. But I think that after yesterday's performance, I would say they were a top 10 team, personally. Number 3, the teams that face Kyler Murray moving forward should study film on the 49ers from yesterday. I mean, the 49ers defense, led by Kyle Shanahan and D'Amico Ryans, as well, former player of the Houston Texans, now defensive coordinator, the game plan that they thought of to try to keep Kyler Murray contained was perfect. And you could argue that if Jimmy Garoppolo was healthy in this game, if George Kittle was healthy, maybe they would have pulled off the upset against the Arizona Cardinals the way that defense looked. So I think moving forward, for any team that faces Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, you have to look at the film of the 49ers versus the Cardinals from week 5. Takeaway number 4, either Trayvon Diggs or Matthew Judon should be Defensive Player of the Year. 6 interceptions, could have been 7. I mean, he made an amazing effort to grab a ball that was going to be tossed out of bounds. Way more effort than Kenny Gallaudet because it went over his head. He didn't even try. Trayvon Diggs got that, but it was out of bounds. So could have had 7, but now 6 interceptions on the year. And that's not a fluke because I know interceptions, you could be lucky sometimes. No, Trayvon Diggs has done a great job of defending his receivers, and he should be Defensive Player of the Year candidate along Matthew Judon. I think Trayvon Diggs is the favorite, but Matthew Judon, 6.5 sacks so far through 5 games, has been looking great. Has been the best player on that Patriots, I would say, defensive line, if not the whole Patriots defense. Maybe even the whole Patriots team, Matthew Judon. Number 5, Jamar Chase is for real. I know we were talking about, okay, for you guys that own him in fantasy football, I own him in 2 leagues. I was like, man, I don't know if this level of production can sustain. I mean, he's not getting the targets. He's only getting touchdown. Now, the last 2 weeks, he's been getting targets against the Jaguars. He got 9 targets last Sunday. Yesterday against the Packers, he had 10 targets. He's for real. He's legit, and he's only going to get better. Jamar Chase, takeaway number 5, he's for real. Number 6, Alexander Madison needs to be a starting running back in the NFL. I don't know whether he's going to get traded before the trade deadline. I doubt it because I think the Minnesota Vikings love having him as a good insurance policy for Dalvin Cook. But eventually, maybe when his contract runs out, he's only 23 years old, and he's looking for a new team. Alexander Madison should be a starting running back in the NFL. It should happen. There's been a lot of backup running backs in history that have done really well and then go on to be starting running backs for a team and have lots of success. I mean, the first person that comes to my mind is Michael Turner when he was on the Chargers, went over to the Falcons, had a lot of success. Alexander Madison could be in the same line. Please come with the Falcons. Golly, we need you. Number 7, Jalen Hurts is clutch, but the coaching staff is holding him back. The game against the Cowboys, the game against the Panthers, when he had a terrible performance, and that could be on Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying that he's great in that aspect, but all I'm saying is that we've seen a lot of play calling by the Philadelphia Eagles so far this season. We often talk about the goal line stand against the Kansas City Chiefs, against the San Francisco 49ers, where they've had first down, second down, third down, fourth down. They go for it on fourth down, and they can't just get it in within 5 yards into the end zone. So I think the Eagles' play calling needs to turn around, but Jalen Hurts, the way that he's been playing, even though he performs poorly in the first half, in the second half, he has great outputs. So Jalen Hurts, takeaway number 7, is clutch. Takeaway number 8, Trevor Lawrence is getting better and better. It's only going to get better and better from here on out. Trevor Lawrence is going to be one of the best rookie quarterbacks in the NFL by season's end. And hey, for you guys that play fantasy football, towards the fantasy playoffs, he has a pretty soft schedule. I think you face the Houston Texans and the New York Jets, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on it. In like weeks 14, 15, 16, somewhere in that window. So Trevor Lawrence could lead you to a fantasy championship. Number 9, this is why Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the NFL. His performance yesterday against the Denver Broncos, turning this Pittsburgh Steelers offense around. Maybe they're back in business. But Mike Tomlin should be the beneficiary, or should be the one that's given credit for turning this Pittsburgh offense around. Mike Tomlin, one of the best coaches in the NFL. That's why he's one of the longest tenured coaches in the NFL currently, alongside Bill Belichick and Sean Payton. And then lastly, don't get too excited about the Texans offense. I know they looked great against the Patriots, but I think this was more of a bad performance by the Patriots than a good performance by the Texans. I will give the Texans credit. Davis Mills looked great. But don't get too excited. One of the best offensive performances that they're probably going to have all season long. Hate to say that because I'm an optimistic guy, but it is what it is. And that is 10 takeaways from Week 5, this past Sunday's game. Now, we preview the Monday Night Football game coming up against the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. And we do this by talking about WinView games. We've talked about this all season long. For the Monday Night Football game, you can now click the link in the description, winview.tv/T2F. They match your deposit of $100. So pretty much you put in $100, you get, I don't want to say it's like free money, like you can take it out, you have to play it, but you get a free $100 to play on WinView games and win more money from using it. Take advantage of it. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you 10 questions that we asked on Instagram that you, the Time2Football faithful, have answered and given us your opinions on what do you think is going to happen. Monday Night Football predictions between the Colts and the Ravens. What is set to happen between these two teams? Well, let's go ahead and switch on over to the questions. Question number 1. Carson Wentz passes for 2+ touchdowns. Is it going to happen or is it not? Well, according to guys on Instagram, it's kind of close. I mean, 59% say no, so we're leaning towards it's not going to happen. 41% say yes. I mean, 1-3. Carson Wentz has not been looking the greatest so far. They've had a tough schedule, and this is a tough game, so I don't think it's really going to happen. But hey, we'll see. Question number 2. Jonathan Taylor has 15 or more rushing attempts. Is that going to happen or not? 73% of you say yes, it is going to happen, and 27% say no, it's not going to happen. I mean, if they want to continue to win games, last week should have proved that, hey, if you give Jonathan Taylor the ball, you're going to win some games. You're at least going to be in it. So they want to go ahead and do that. Ravens score first. Is that going to happen or not? 75% say yes, it is going to happen. 25% say no. I mean, it's a high likely chance that the Ravens do score first, and the Colts may not even score at all. I mean, we'll see. The Colts outscore the Ravens in any quarter. I mean, speaking of scoring about the Indianapolis Colts, 58% say no, 42% say yes, it is going to happen. This could be third quarter, fourth quarter. The score could be out of hand. It could be 31-13, like it was between the Bills and the Chiefs. And the Ravens are playing conservative, not scoring any points. And the Colts could score a touchdown. Try to come from behind. Garbage time. Could happen. Marquise Brown has a 35-yard touchdown catch. 35-yard catch or more. Not even a touchdown, just a catch. 72% say yes, it is going to happen. 28% say no, it's not going to happen. I mean, he's been a deep threat. We actually had him as a sit in fantasy football last week, but he still had a long touchdown reception against the Denver Broncos. So, hey, anything could happen. Both teams combined for 46 or more points. Okay, is that going to happen or not? 23 points each. 46% say yes, it is going to happen. 54% say no, it is not going to happen. Next question. There will be a turnover on downs in this. Ooh, man, Hassan, typo, golly, in this games. Is that going to happen or not? 65% say yes, it is going to happen. 35% say no, it is not going to happen. I mean, the Colts, like we said, could be coming from behind, and they could be going for it on fourth down. So it's a logical question that we need to talk about. Michael Pittman scores a touchdown in this game. Is that going to happen or not? Wide receiver 1, 55% say yes, they are backing him up. Wow, 45% say no, it is not going to happen. Lamar Jackson rushes for 50 or more yards. RB1, hey, quick fact, neat note, by the way, going into Sunday, before Sunday, Lamar Jackson actually had 1,365 yards total, passing yards and rushing yards. That was more than, I want to say, somewhere between 5 to 10 NFL teams. Yardage combined. The Falcons, he has more yards than the Falcons going into Sunday. 86% say yes, he is going to rush for 50 or more yards. 40% say no, he's not. And lastly, the Ravens outscore the Colts by 7 or more points. Is that set to happen or not? 75% say yes, it is going to happen. 25% say no, it is not going to happen. But that is our Monday Night Football take outlook for this week's matchup between the Colts and the Ravens. Again, click the link in the description. WinView.tv/T2F. Use the promo code T2F, or it's a link. Just click that link in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Even if you're listening on iTunes, you can click the link in the description of the podcast and match your deposit of $100. Hey, get another 100 that you can just use to win more money. Well worth it. All right, now I'm going to stop ignoring you guys in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some love here. What do we got right here? Viewer questions. Questions that you guys ask in the comments and in the chat. So we've got 30 people tuning in right now. Perfect. My iPad is almost out of battery. What do we got? Brandon Gold. Rough day yesterday for your boy McPherson. I know. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. I still have hope. Dude, 57-yard field goal was so close. There had to be a win, man. Because that 49-yard field goal that he missed as well, like it looked like it was going in and then whoop. I don't know, man. And then Crosby missed too. Yeah, my boy, Evan McPherson, I still have hope for him, man. I still have hope. I'm holding on to hope. He's my kicker in my fantasy football league, in my main league, And I mean, in that league, I'm about to be 5-0, which I don't know how that's happening because my team is good, but it's not the best. So um, I don't know, man. Evan McPherson, I'm going to keep him because I think this team is going to run around, turn things around, and McPherson's just going to continue to get the field goal opportunities. But oh gosh, he's so freaking good, so freaking good. All right, what else do we got? Uh, Emerald Eyes 7 Zemi electric guitar, electric guitar, electric guitar, electric guitar. Is that a nod to Austin Eckler? Because Austin Eckler he's killing it. Oh, put your hands up. Haha. Oh, you're talking about the countdown music and the intro music. Yeah, man, hard rock. I love hard rock. It's my favorite genre. Pedro, question. Yeah, Deontay Johnson has had the 50-yard catch for a TD, but only had 2 targets. With Juju going on IR, this is surely an anomaly? Question mark. Hey, Deontay is in line for getting more targets. I think before that, he had 11 targets in one game, if I'm not mistaken. And, man, 8 targets in another game. I don't quote me on all these numbers, but, yeah, he's going to be good moving forward. So, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. I mean, if you're in 12-team leagues or more, Deontay Johnson should be a weekly starter moving forward with Juju out. It should happen. So, Deontay, going to be amazing. Jack, great job. What do you think about Myles Gaskin? He's on the waivers in my league. Dude, why? Why is he on the waivers? No. Hey, if Myles Gaskin is on the waivers, please pick him up. I know he's owned, I checked yesterday, in ESPN, he's owned in like 70 to 75% of leagues. So I was going to put him down as a must add for this week's video that's coming out tomorrow. But then I was like, he's owned in 70. Like most people have him. But if he's on the waivers, like, I don't get, man. Like, people are looking way too deep into the 2-carry game that he had. I made a trade, and this still might be a bad trade. But for weeks I've been talking about this trade. I made this trade at a Skillet concert, by the way, where I traded away James Robinson for Mark Andrews and Myles Gaskin. This was 2 weeks ago before Robinson started popping off. I was like, I expect Robinson to turn things around and pop off, and he's better than Myles Gaskin, but I need a tight end. Mark Andrews is a tight end 1, and Myles Gaskin, he's kind of sucks. The Dolphins offense sucks, but if they want to win games, they got to lean towards Myles. I made the trade because I knew that eventually Myles Gaskin, the Dolphins, if Tua Tagovailoa were to come back, he's going to be okay. He's going to be the best back. He's going to emerge eventually. And if Myles Gaskin is on the waivers, please, please, please pick him up. And I would honestly make him a higher priority than Devontae Booker or Darrell Williams, because Gaskin is the best back in Miami, and Tua Tagovailoa is expected to come back, and Gaskin is the man. So please pick him up. Trade Waller and Collins for Chubb. Yes, I would do it. I mean, are you good at tight end? If you're good at tight end, yes. Nick Chubb is Nick Chubb. He's getting a lot of the work. Do it. Hunt for Saquon. I mean, let's wait. Let's wait and see how long Saquon Barkley is going to be out. So, Jay, I just hold off right there. I think Wednesday's practice, I mean, he's going to get an MRI, I think. So, I mean, we may even know today. But he is week to week. So, I'd wait. Cinco2X, any news on CEH? Just joined the live. No, not yet. Not yet, man. We're still waiting on it. He should be getting an MRI, but Darrell Williams eventually or instantly becomes the starting running back for the Chiefs. David, you asked trade Hopkins and Waller, Collins for Eckler. Hopkins and Waller. Trade Hopkins and Waller, Collins for Eckler. Are you giving up all 3 for Eckler? If you need a running back, do it, man. Do it. Eckler is going to continue to get a lot of the work. He's not going to take a dip in production at all. If you're good at wide receiver, if you're good at tight end, I'd do it, man. I'd do it. Preem, cool. I actually have Tannehill, but I'm not playing him next week. In reference to, yeah. I actually did an early, I'm working on the list right now for starts and sits for this week. And, yeah, Tannehill's I think he's a must-sit. Jack, you said Chiefs need a run game. Yeah, they do for sure. Man, you are going in on Mahomes, man. And Mahomes wouldn't cry anymore, or they added Derrick Henry, yeah. Or if they added Derrick Henry, yeah, for sure. You also said Jamar Chase should be Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think at this point, yeah, I think it's kind of locked in. Jamar Chase, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then you're also, you're making some great points. I'm just going to go ahead and acknowledge you. You also say that Madison is an RB1, Kareem Hunt is an RB1, Tony Pollard is an RB1, Gainwell is also an RB1. All can start for needy teams. Yes, agreed. People overlook Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, he's not going to be like a goal line kind of back, but an Austin Eckler kind of back, sure. Which Austin Eckler is getting goal line carries, so why not Kenneth Gainwell? Jack, you say, would you know when is Michael Thomas coming back? I honestly do not know. Week 6 is when the conversations were to begin. That's when I assumed that Michael Thomas were to come back, but it could be like a week 6 to week 8 kind of window that Michael Thomas might be coming back. So I haven't heard anything on it. So we'll watch out for that. Preem, you also say, what got into that sleeper Raiders defense? Yeah, man. Justin Fields. No, it wasn't really Justin Fields. It was a run game. Khalil Herbert, Damien Williams looked great. They have two backs that they're going to be switching back and forth between. Miguel, you also say, what should I do with Julio Jones at this moment? Trade him, drop him, or stay with him and hope is old Julio? Yeah. He's a wide receiver 2 moving forward. Wide receiver 2/flex. You know, I think this is why I encourage people to, in week 2. So for 2 straight weeks when I come out with those trade target videos, I said that buy low candidate running back buy low, James Robinson. And the trade that I often brought up was a player like Julio Jones, name value, that doesn't have a bleak outlook for the rest of the season. Trade him for James Robinson. Do it. And I hope that was the time that a lot of people sold on Julio Jones for a good player. But, I mean, if wide receiver 2/flex, that's what I say. If you need a player in that category for wide receiver 2, sure, keep Julio Jones. But if not, man, use that name value. Use that name value to trade him and get something good out of it. Herbert or Rodgers QB rest of the season? Who you think? This is by Rob Dale. Aloha, by the way. As appreciate the content. How you doing, man? Glad you can join us from Hawaii. Dude, you're 5 hours behind? Bro, get some sleep. Get some sleep, dude. Get some sleep. Hey, I would go with Herbert. Herbert, 42 fantasy points. Yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. MVP candidate. I love Justin Herbert over Aaron Rodgers. Jack, best show on YouTube. Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. It's best show because of people like you. Miguel, I trade Gaskin for Chuba Hubbard this week and drop Gaskin to pick Madison. Are you asking which one you want to do with Gaskin? Wait, Madison's still on the waivers? What the heck? Oh, man. See, I would keep Gaskin, man. I mean, I would use it to trade. Like, if you package Gaskin and someone else for, like a Chase Edmonds or like a Josh Jacobs, like a lower tier running back that could still be used as a starting running back in your lineup on like bye weeks. That's actually just a better value than Myles Gaskin. That's what I would do with Gaskin at this point. But I mean, if you're a Christian McCaffrey owner, I mean, you could trade Gaskin for Chuba Hubbard and someone else, get something else out of it because he's not going to have some value. Hubbard is not going to have any value moving forward. So McCaffrey gets hurt, but that's what I would do. Yeah, Ron the Goat says, I dropped Gaskin 2 weeks ago and he had this big game. Yeah. Hey, to give you a little bit of encouragement, though, he only had 5 carries. Now, he had 25 yards, which was impressive against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But it was a 10-reception game that he had. That's not going to happen every week. So those receptions are going to more so go towards carries. Moving forward with Tua back, and they're going to be more in games. But, yeah, Gaskin, if he's on the waivers, like I said, you got to add that guy. Add him. I would add him over Devontae Booker, Darrell Williams. Probably the top 2 backs that are going to be taking over as a starter moving forward. I traded Julio and Hawkinson for Waller and Marvin Jones. Ron the Goat said that. Hey, I mean, You're not really getting any value out of Julio Jones right now. Marvin Jones is like a sneaky wide receiver, although I don't know what happened between him and Laviska Shenault yesterday. That was supposed to be big games for the both of them. I don't know what happened. But, I mean, moving from Hawkinson to Waller is a huge jump up. So, kudos to you. Miguel, you also said, I dropped Gaskin to pick Madison from the wire. Okay. Okay. I'm following along right now. Okay. Well, at least you got Alexander Madison. I mean, that's a good play. That's a good play for sure. Andres, this is the last question, right? All right, cool. We got a couple more. What are your thoughts on the Bears running backs? Yeah, they're going to continue to split time, man. 60 carries, 65 yards for Damien Williams. And I watched that game too. And if you are a Damien Williams owner and you're concerned about Khalil Herbert, there's a little bit of concern, but don't sweat. Don't sweat. You're going to be fine. Because at the goal line, it was Damien Williams that was getting a lot of the carries. As a matter of fact, Khalil Herbert had a nice drive. He was getting like 8 yards, 10 yards, whatever. They got to the goal line, and then they put in Damien Williams at the goal line. He didn't get the touchdown the second time, but the first time, yeah. He ran it. I think they had like 2 or 3 straight goal line carries with Damien Williams. So Williams is the go-to guy. Khalil Herbert, nice, solid pickup play sometimes, but nah, dude. Damien Williams. Unless Damien Williams gets hurt, Khalil Herbert is not going to be that relevant. Jay Nice. Oh, you just tuned in, I guess. I guess you asked that question earlier, then you tuned out. Then okay. So Hunt for Saquon. I asked. I answered that. I said, just wait on Saquon. Let's see how long he's going to be hurt. We're running a little bit late, but let me answer just a couple more, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Preem, I'm looking at Colts defense or Browns defense for the rest of the season. Thoughts? They're on the same level. If you want to ask me by talent, it's Colts defense I would take the rest of the season. Now, if you're asking me based off the schedule, I have not had a chance to look at the schedule on both of them, Colts or Browns, so I look at the schedule first. But for the next few weeks at least, the Colts are a good play. Not tonight against the Ravens, but for the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, however long it is, they have some pretty good matchups coming up. So stick with the Indianapolis Colts. I think they have a bye next week, if I'm not concerned. But then after that, if I'm not mistaken, after that, they should be fine. Let me actually answer one more, and then I got to go ahead and cut this off. Miguel, should I drop Jaylen Waddle to pick up Cadarius Toney or another wide receiver? I don't want to drop Waddle. I mean, Cadarius Toney is a must-add of the week. But for Waddle, nah. If I had to keep Waddle, I would. I'd keep Waddle, but if I had to get rid of him, sure. I mean, I guess. I guess. But that's going to go ahead and end this week's episode of Time2Football. Hey, I appreciate you guys joining us. Again, we always go a little bit late, but who cares, man? Who cares? It's the internet. I get to do whatever I want. It's my channel. Hey, but you get to do whatever you want to do, and I encourage you guys, if you want to do, at least, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe and follow us on iTunes so you can listen to us on the go. And yeah, give us a shout. Follow us on social media. With all that said, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Fantasy football videos.